Hello, and welcome back to Isaac's Reviews. We've talked before about what I enjoy in a story, about heroes with clear moral centers, about action and adventure, and quick-paced stories. Uh, Part of the reason I've gravitated towards some of these things is actually some of the things that I've consumed on the internet, mainly on YouTube. I have found a handful of different channels past couple of years that I've thoroughly enjoyed, that have kind of pointed some of these characters out to me. Some of these characters I've been familiar with for a while. Some of these characters I really just found in recent years. For instance, Solomon Kane. I actually found that character based off of a YouTube video that I watched. The YouTube video in question, I believe, is called The Savage Tales of Solomon Kane. I could be wrong. It was an introduction to the character done by a YouTuber known as Razor Fist, also known as the Rageaholic. He does some pretty good content on YouTube. He's very opinionated. If you've seen any of his stuff, you will understand that he is indeed opinionated. But he has a pretty good grasp on fantasy, pulp novels, film noir, things that I've enjoyed. And so I've enjoyed his content. A couple of years ago, he actually released his first book, and that is the subject of today's review. Today we are covering The Long Moonlight. This book is very, very short. It's only 113 pages. Let's make sure of that. 115, sorry. 115 pages. It's a very short story, but it packs a lot into it. There's a lot of good story. There's a mystery throughout. He's even got great illustrations all throughout this book. This is a good book. Let's get into it. So, we open on a thief named Xerxes. He is trying to do some thieving, obviously. And he stumbles across a man named Cyrus Welliver interrogating another man. Xerxes frees this man. He ends up fighting a woman named Saris, and he ends up escaping. Now he's involved in a turf war between rival crime lords. His goal is to get out alive. That's all I'm going to give you for this book. It's too new. I can't spoil all of it. This book is sparse, maybe even lean, is something that I describe it as. He has a very good command of the English language, and he uses that to his advantage. He tells a lot of story with a very economic use of words. I'm pretty well read, and even I had to look up some of the words that he uses in this book. I had to reread sections of it to make sure that I got that plot point. It has some great illustrations throughout this book. I already showed you one or two of them. I don't want to show you all of them, but he's got some great illustrations that I believe he did himself. I may be mistaken. Because this is a newer book, I'm not going to go into too much detail. But if you enjoy some of the other recommendations that I've given you with some of the pulpy stories, this definitely falls in that same lane. Fast-paced action of a good amount of pulp influence that you can clearly see. There's some noir influence that you can clearly see. And I would thoroughly encourage you, if you enjoy a good fantasy story, a good fast-paced action adventure, this should be your next read. It's called The Long Moonlight. It's written by Razor Fist, and it is a heck of a good story. Enjoy.